Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. We're so glad you're here spending some time with us today. And we're so excited for you to hear today's guest story. A reminder, PSP Podcast is exciting because we get to share the powerful collaborations that are really transforming the future of our communities. And that's exactly what our guest today is doing. We want to welcome Kristy Hughes. She is the Community Relations Coordinator for C-Tech at Hobbs Municipal Schools. Kristy, thank you so much for sharing your time today.
Krista, thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure to be a part of this up and coming podcast that Permian Strategic Partnership is doing, and lovely to get to explain to your viewers exactly this great partnership that we have.
Well, you're definitely leading meaningful work within the school system and the workforce and how that is coming together. And I can't wait to hear all the good things. But first, I want you to just kind of explain a little bit about your background and how you got to this great position that you're in today.
Perfect. So I have worked many a jobs and feel like I have a lot of experience. I went to nursing school. I have a nursing background. However, I only nursed for a very short period of time, and then worked in corporate and nonprofit. Corporate world was a great balance for me. I'm such a people person, loved being out in the community, as well as nonprofit. And so moving to Hobbs almost 20 years ago, worked in the nursing field, then nonprofit, and then now I have entered into my 5th year working with Hobbs Municipal Schools. I was hired on in a very unique role as community relations for the new CTE facility, career and technical education facility that we were building. And the project was not built yet. It was just starting when I was hired. And really, I was brought onto the project to market and educate the community about what we're offering students, as well as gathering industry partners such as the PSP to jump on board and be a sole producer and provider and a partner, a huge partner for us. And so have done a lot of different things since I started. I do all of our social media, industry partners, advisory committee, and then also I am the work-based learning coordinator. And what that is where we allow our students to go out into the industry and work in the industry that they are going to school for. And then we pay those students during that work-based learning opportunity. And I manage that on a district level on top of my community relations position. And then 3 years ago, I started with PSP as their Permian Strategic Partnership Energy Internship Director. This was my 3rd summer to be part of that, and that is really what brought us here today, is to talk about the PSP Energy Internship that we just had in early June.
Fantastic. Let's talk about that because internship is so key for any field that you're going into, right? I always tell young people that are in college, get an internship. You'll find out if you love it or hate it, that whatever the industry is, right? And so I feel like the more we can have young people do internships, the better, and they can see what the great work is that the Permian is doing. So tell us about the internship program and what they were doing all summer long.
Perfect. So the PSP, along with some of their member companies, started the what they called the flipped internship, and that was at Loving High School 4 years ago. In the oil and gas industry, internships, anyone under the age of 18, possibly for some companies 21, students of that age are not able to really go out into the field to learn the job as a typical intern of, let's say, at a hospital or a construction company or the culinary hospitality industry. The oil field is a little different than that. Petroleum companies have liability issues. And so that is where the PSP and those member companies really got involved in a think tank of how do we flip this? How do we flip the story? How do we give those students in our local area, in our community, the same atmosphere, the same opportunities if you would have been on a full internship. So that started in Loving, New Mexico with the superintendent, Lee White. He was a great proponent for that program. And then it kind of evolved through that. And so the name being flipped internship is now really just not, we don't call it that anymore. We call it the PSP Energy Internship. We provide this 2-week in-depth, really rich internship for 10 communities, 10 high schools in the southeastern New Mexico, West Texas area. And so those schools I'll just list because I think it's very important for viewers to understand those students that come and apply for this internship, where they can come from. And so Hobbs, Lovington, Tatum, Jal, Eunice, Loving, Artesia, Carlsbad, Seminole, and Andrews. And so all of those communities are really what we offer for our students to come. Those are the ones that are in the Permian Basin and the Delaware Basin that their parents are working in the industry. And so these students that we open the application process up to any student that is interested in oil and gas. You don't have to currently be enrolled in an oil and gas program at your high school. Some of our high schools do offer those programs, some of which do not. You do not have to be in a program to be accepted into the PSP Energy Internship. However, we do hope that you continue to with a career in the oil and gas at some level, whether that be directly as a pumper or a lease operator or a driller or a petroleum engineer, or maybe on the IT side or electrician. There are so many career opportunities in the oil and gas industry, and we want to offer those to our students. We really hope that we could have a balance of female and male students or interns into the program. This summer, we met for 2 weeks in June, and we had 14 interns, 10 male and 4 female. Those students come, like I said, from those partner high schools, and they stay for 2 weeks here in Hobbs at the New Mexico Junior College dorms. It's a great experience. Not only are you learning about the oil and gas industry, but it might be the first time that a student has been away from home. And also been away from home and integrated with students that they were not familiar with. I will tell you that lasting relationships and friendships have established for the past 3 years that I have done this. And we have students that beg to come back for another year. And we have also talked PSP as well as the PSP Advisory Council for the Energy Internship of bringing a 2.0, meaning that those students that had the opportunity before, they would come back and join it again.
I love that. And what a great opportunity for the high school students to see a industry they've heard a lot about but haven't been hands-on, and B, to experience that college life, a little bit of it, right, by staying in the dorms and just getting a sneak peek of what's ahead to show them, hey, this is possible, and this is right here in your own backyard. And I love that. Right. What a great program. What is and I'm assuming it's free for the students. They don't have to pay to go into it, correct?
So there is an application process. That application process is a little in depth. We do require a transcript with their grade point average. We also require their 2 reference letters, a reference letter from a current instructor, and then a reference letter from a non-family member or a non-teacher. So a clergy, a coach, an employer. Someone that would give us a great visual of a student on paper prior to approving. So this year we had 52 applicants apply. We accepted, out of those 52 applicants, we accepted 16. We had 2 that dropped out before, for whatever reason, they could not attend. So that landed us with 14 interns. I say every year that the interns that we get through that cold process that we do with those applicants, we get the right ones every year. And so it does not cost a thing for a student to come. Even better, these students walk away with $1,000 stipend at the end of their 2-week internship. So not only are they getting this valuable information from our industry partners, but they're also having the opportunity to do a capstone project. This year they did From Well to Wills capstone project led by Peyton Hagler, the oil and gas instructor from Lovington High School. He was with us for the 2 weeks. And these students did that capstone project. And then at graduation on the very last day of the internship, those students present their capstone project to their parents as well as any guests that are at graduation, along with the PSP committee. And then they are awarded their $1,000.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Like I said, this is such an opportunity, and I tell the students that are chosen for this that this is a chance of a lifetime opportunity, and it really, really is.
That's amazing. If a teacher is listening right now or a parent for next year and they're thinking, oh, I know just the right student who would be perfect for this, what do they have to do to prepare for it? How do they, are there certain deadlines they need to hit to get that application in, and where do they find the application?
Absolutely. So the application is landed on our CTEC website. That's through Hobbs Municipal Schools website. Then you would search for CTEC, and then the PSP application is landed on that website. Also, you're more than welcome to contact me, Kristy Hughes at Hobbs Schools, and I can leave my contact information. The opportunity for any student in southeastern New Mexico, I would say that when you, as a teacher or an industry partner that knows a student, and you are writing a reference letter for that student, show us how you know that student and why you feel that that student would be a perfect fit. Give us a detailed, extravagant reference letter, not a canned reference letter. And I will say one of the reasons we picked multiple of the 14 that we picked were because the reference letters were very stellar. One of the letters said that this student was an entrepreneur. He had raised small chickens, and now he has a poultry farm. And yes, he absolutely did. And he brought us fresh eggs. And so we love that kind of detail when it comes to supporting a student for that. I would be amiss to talk about our PSP community partners or the member partners through PSP. We could not do this energy internship without those partners, and they spend a day with us. Basically, each member partner that has joined us for the last 3 years has just really jumped in, sponsored a day. And so each day is sponsored by an industry partner, and they provide us with great hands-on activities. One of the highlights is always going to the rig. We go out about an hour and a half away on the bus out to the oil patch, to a ConocoPhillips rig. We put on our PPE, and the students get to go to the doghouse and talk to the drilling operator, and it's just a huge highlight. Another highlight of the 2 weeks is coming to Midland to the Chevron headquarters there in Midland, and spending the day with executives from Chevron and learning about working and living within a corporate headquarters such as Chevron. Coterra Energy, they are an amazing partner in this. This year they brought a VR program, a VR headset, virtual reality of a Little Joe regulator, and the students got to actually operate that Little Joe regulator on that VR headset. ExxonMobil, they came and spoke. Devon Energy always comes with a great punch. And they did not fail us this year as well. We had a great opportunity. We did a scavenger hunt at our mock facility. We did an vacation activity. These students get to plan their vacation, and then at the very end, Devon Energy employees let them know that anything that is made with petroleum, they have to take away from that vacation. You can imagine that leaves them almost nothing. So, and then Mewburn Oil. Mewburn is a great partner. This was their first year of being a partner for the day. And so we have a new mock facility, oil and gas mock facility here at CTech, where we house the internship, and our students got the opportunity to take a tour, an in-depth tour with the Mewburn facilitators, petroleum engineers, talked about all the things that happen on a tank battery. And so the other program or place that we go is we do spend some time at the New Mexico Junior College. New Mexico Junior College, of course, is a great partner of ours at CTech as well as PSP. And our students get to have a full day of New Mexico Junior College and what that offers for them. I just want to make sure that I don't forget anyone. The other thing that our interns have an amazing opportunity for, as we all know, philanthropy is a great opportunity for oil and gas companies. They're very bought into our community, and so our interns spent the Friday before they went home for the weekend doing a service project with the United Way of Lee County as well. And so that kind of let them give back to their community by doing that opportunity. Our students learn about welding. They did automation, mechatronics, you name it, these students are doing it. The other thing that was new to this year was we brought Hobbs Fire Department, the BLM, as well as CEHME. They are a nonprofit teaching students about environmental in the environmental needs of the oil and gas industry. Like I said, we couldn't do this amazing internship without all of these important aspects of the partners.
It truly sounds like an internship of a lifetime, really, for these students. That is so exciting. If there was one question or an interesting question that gets asked a lot by the students, because, for those of us who maybe are integrated into oil and gas, we hear the talk. What are some of the questions that they have that you thought, oh, good question?
I will just say, from the time that I've been involved in this, we learned early on when we invited a member company in to talk and to do a hands-on activity that the oil and gas terminology is terminology of its own. Yes. And so some companies would come in and they would be talking and they would use the word assets. And they would over and over say, well, our assets. And I was like, time out. In the middle of their presentation, time out. Let's explain to our interns what asset means, because they've never heard that term before. So in the last 3 years, I learned really quickly that the terminology was super important, that we teach that right away with our students. And so because the interns will be like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what a blowout preventer is. I don't know what a lease operator is. They don't know. And so one of the activities that we did very first day, very first 5 minutes of the day, is I handed out sticky notes. I put them in groups of about 3 to 4 students in a group and sticky notes and a pen. And I said, I want you to write words that you have heard that are related to oil and gas. And I want you to write those words on a piece on each sticky note and go put it up on the bulletin board. So this was an activity they learned, they kind of talked amongst themselves. Some had parents that worked in the industry. Some had no idea of the industry. They just knew they wanted to come and do this internship. And then the last day of the 2-week internship, we did that activity again with leaving those words that we began with. And we did it again. And I will tell you, this huge bulletin, this whole whiteboard in our classroom was full of different colored sticky notes with different terminology and words that those students had learned in their 2 weeks. And it was huge. It was huge.
I love that. I love that. If you had to sum up the impact this partnership has had in one sentence, so one sentence only, the partnership between PSP and the internship, what would that be?
Changing lives.
Mm-hmm.
I will say in all different aspects, and I know you said one sentence, but changing lives of these students, giving these students an opportunity that they would have never got otherwise. From riding on a bus to Chevron headquarters, to going on a rig, to learning how to live with other people other than their brothers and sisters,
Right.
learning how to teamwork outside of a school setting, learning professionalism. Those are invaluable things that this internship has taught these students, and life-changing. If you ask these interns, they would say the 2 weeks that I spent with the PSP Energy Internship was life-changing.
I love that. What incredible work you're doing there, Kristy. And really, it's so exciting to hear because, again, you hear a lot of internships in college, but to have that internship in high school, that could change the trajectory of their life. And like you said, life changing. So thank you for doing the hard work that you're doing. Is there anything that we haven't talked about today that you think is so important and just really crucial to the work that you're doing in the schools and in bridging that gap between schools and workforce?
So absolutely, CTEC has been a project. Like I said, we're starting our 4th year of our school, and there again, bringing students into a career and setting them up for success out of high school into the workforce, and ultimately that's our goal, is to establish a career relevant for a student so that they can be better off in their adult life. And we're doing that every day here. And there again, that term of life changing, giving those students opportunities that they would have never got otherwise. And so for schools in southeastern New Mexico and West Texas, we are seeing a real drive in career and technical education. And if you are a partner of PSP, or you're an industry, or maybe you're a parent listening, I encourage you to find more about career and technical education and how that's going to benefit your community, because it's definitely benefiting ours.
Fantastic. So we encourage anyone to reach out to you. You mentioned some great partners already with Chevron and Devon and so many others. So yes, if anyone's listening today, please share this with someone that you know that wants to pour back into the youth and show them the beauty of the industry. I think this is a great opportunity to do so. Thank you, Kristy. Kristy, what are you hopeful for as we enter the new school year? I know you're geared up, ready to go there in Hobbs. What are you hopeful for our students?
I think for this year, like I said, we are entering into our 4th year of CTEC, and we said 3rd year last year was where we saw full circle, where our students started as a sophomore and then a junior and a senior. This year, I feel like we've put our feet to the ground. We know what's worked, what hasn't worked, and we're going to be better off this year than we ever have been. And so I'm always excited for a new school year. I feel like it's always a great opportunity for a new start. And I can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Well, we wish you the best. We wish you, the students, the best. And thank you so much, Kristy, for sharing all the good things you're doing, not just at CTEC, but with the internship program, partnering with PSP. It is so exciting to see. And I can't wait for 2.0 to come. I think that'll be fun to see because, anyone that loves what they're doing, they want to do it again. So I understand why they'd want to return to your program and learn even more, because there is so much to learn. And I love that those students are requesting it too. I think that's just a testament to the great program that you've built. So congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us today and all the good work you're doing. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so very much for letting me have the opportunity to share the story.
You're welcome. And we thank you for listening today. We appreciate you. As you can see, the partnerships that are being made daily here with Permian Strategic Partnership in our community are truly changing lives and bringing a positive impact to our community. And to me, there's nothing better than that. Let's bring positive impact wherever we go. I want to thank you again for your time. Please share this with someone that you think could benefit from it, maybe through a partnership, or maybe their child or your student would be someone that really needs to look at this great internship for next summer. And finally, as always, I just want to thank you, the community. You're what makes this community go. As you know, the future lies here in the Permian, and we are all in this together. So thank you for doing the hard work you do. We will see you next time on the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. You make it a great day.